or, with Pageant and we were kind of talking about it. And I think we felt like last night, we might be doing Oscar right now a disservice by playing him sparingly and just watching the way he kind of chased last night. Last when we called him up, he had a lot of at bats under his belt and he felt really good about himself. So we're going to hopefully get him going again, as opposed to playing him every so often.
You keep it open-ended in terms of a timetable down there, just to kind of see how it goes. And
oh yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple of things. One, it's almost like a reset. You don't have to look up the scoreboard right now and see, and hopefully that'll help. The other thing is we need to get Arias some at bats. He's too important to our future, and he hasn't swung the bat great, but we got to find a way to get him some at bats. So we'll work him into that mix in right field too, along with when he plays the infield, just to kind of get him some more at bats.
You had Gabe out in the outfield in spring training and left and right, but how comfortable are you guys with him out there? Because we just haven't seen him.
I think he's going to be fine. I've been watching him in practice, and I think he actually might be pretty good.
I know I don't want to say concerned, but you have so many young pitchers going out there, and without the offense scoring a lot, is there just a natural thing to think of, like, I got to be perfect almost? Do you have?
I think that's probably the case with everybody. It's human nature. I think our young guys have done a really good job so far. Some ways, when you have 2 starts under your belt, I think you're still at a point where you're looking forward to your start, and so I think we're okay there.
Do you have a set number of days in mind you'd like to see Gabriel in the lineup?
No, I don't know that we can do that. Some of it depends on how we're swinging a bat and who's pitching, and you only know who's pitching usually a series out.
Was this move, does this help Brennan as well, give him more playing time as well?
Well, between he and Gabe in right, I mean, Brennan's going to play a bunch. Yeah,
See anything different with Brennan just swinging the bat recently?
I think he's, he hit the ball pretty well and didn't have a ton to show for it. And then you try to maybe do a little more. Then you get yourself in a little bit of a bind where you're getting pitched tough, but then you're also not hitting maybe the pitches you normally do. That's a lot of times what happens. They get you thinking about something else, then the pitch you should hit, you don't.
I heard you post game saying something to that effect last night. Guys swinging at everything almost. And I know you're not the hitting coach, but is that part of just when you're kind of in a slump where you're swinging at almost anything and everything to get out of it?
Yeah. I mean, you got to earn good pitches, and it's way easier said than done sitting here than doing it. But when you try to hit all speeds and different pitches, different locations, it gets harder to be consistent. You might hit sometimes, but man, we at times we seem like we're a pitch late as opposed to a pitch early. We have a plan, and then they execute a pitch and we kind of veer off of that. We're going to have to be disciplined.
I know you said a few days ago that the plan would be to get Tristan to Arizona before he would start. Is that soon? Is that now? What's the plan here?
Probably about over the Mississippi right about now. So yes. Yeah. He came in work this morning and took off.
Tyler, what do you know? What is the plan with him?
Well, I mean, we know that he's a solid kid. He can move around the infield. He was going to play right field tonight in Columbus, so that obviously got scratched. I don't know exactly, because we don't know how guys are gonna, does a guy need a day off? Does things, but it gives us some versatility. I'm still trying to figure out how to use Fry. So, those are things that are on my mind and trying to figure out how to make this work.
Did you notice anything different with Gonzalez when he came to spring training? Or, I mean, it seemed like he's kind of been in a funk ever since, even when he came to camp.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. I don't think you always put a ton on spring training. I do think when you break with a team, I mean, you've heard me say it quite a bit. You know, April can be a pretty cruel month here. It's not just here, it's major league pitching and I mean, we had to send Hosey back. You know, it can be a tough month. And he made it tougher by chasing so much. You're gonna have to find a way. Again, we tried to tell him last night, we're not asking him to walk. We just want you to swing pitches you can handle, because we think he'll do some damage.
We got the Derby.
And you know what? I didn't even know. I lost track. He's dying.
I didn't want to say that word. Yeah. Getting a little worried.